Hi guys, how are y'all doing? I hope you guys are doing great. Hey, thank you for being here on my channel. If this is your first time being on my channel of Keeping It Real with D, thank you so much. I am so excited that you're here. I hope you like my videos. I upload a little bit of everything, stuff that I think is worth making a video or that I find interesting in some way or another. But thank you so much for being here on my channel. I really appreciate you. So on today's video, I decided to talk about something that is very personal to me. As you guys know, on my channel, I like to post things that I find interesting. Sometimes I post things just for fun, but I also post a lot of my personal stuff because I hope that maybe in me uploading a video about it somehow help somebody. And that's the whole reason that I started this channel. That's the whole reason that I make videos. So that's why I'm going to talk about this on this video. So you guys know, here on my channel, when I started this channel, I started on a weight loss journey. You guys know that I've been trying to change my outer appearance forever. It's been a process. I've lost a total of almost 180 pounds, almost. I'm like 174. I've lost a lot of weight and I've changed my appearance a whole lot. However, I haven't really talked about my inner work. I've talked a little bit about it, I think, but not really that much. And on this video, I want to talk a little bit more about that, about how my healing process started from all these things that I was kind of ignoring in my life, kind of pushing to the back burner, just not paying attention to them. And they were really weighing on me. They were causing me a lot of pain, a lot of tears, a feeling of yuckiness, depression, anxiety. I think that the healing process is very important, especially when you heal yourself from all the traumas and everything that you went through in life. So this isn't all my healing process. Of course, I'm still in the process. I think we're all always in a process of something because we're always learning something from ourselves, from each other, from the world, from many different areas and things and people and, just experiences. It's like an ongoing process, but I've healed a lot and I would like to share that with you guys. So I would say about 2 years ago, I was losing weight. Everything was going cool. And, I started feeling really sad for some reason, really depressed. I couldn't figure out why, I was like, well, I have a good job. I live in the place that I want to live. I've always wanted to live in this place. Why don't I feel like truly happy? Why do I feel depressed? And one day, just out of nowhere, it just hit me like, whew, like if somebody dropped an ice bucket water, iced bucket water, iced water bucket. Like if somebody dropped an iced water bucket on me, it just hit me. I was ignoring a lot of things. I was so in denial of everything that I was ignoring in my life. I would consume myself with work and being online. Not really making videos or not really being like on YouTube that much, but on social media in general. I would probably spend hours, literally a long time on Instagram, looking at other people's lives, looking at stories. And then there's people that post a lot of stories of basically a bunch of stuff about their life. And a lot of things about their life. So like, it was kind of like a movie for me every day, like an ongoing movie. would get on the stories, and I would just keep going and going and watching and getting lost in their stories and their lives. And I would look at what they would post, and I would think how wonderful their lives would be, and I just kind of got lost in the internet, like on social media, looking at other people's stuff, being nosy. And one day, just out of nowhere, it hit me. And something told me, girl, you need to pay attention to your own life. You need to address those feelings, those things that you haven't been working on. You need to work on you. Stop worrying or stop looking at other people's lives. Work on you. I literally heard this, and it's like it woke me up. And I was like, what am I doing? When this happened, I started looking at my life. I started looking at all the things that I had been ignoring, that I wasn't dealing with. And I'm not going to go into detail. It's, a lot of personal stuff that I honestly don't want to go into all the detail of it. But I can just tell you that it was things that were very important that I was just kind of like throwing to the side. Like not really paying attention to them. That I needed to work on, like in a hurry. Because it not only affected me, but it also affected my daughter. So I made the choice to get off social media. Not like delete my profile or anything, but like I said, I'm not going to look at stories anymore. I'm not going to spend all this time on social media looking at other people's lives. Like, why do I want to be doing that when I have my own life that I need to tend to? So I started going by each and everything that I needed to work on. I need to accept this and learn how to accept it and let it go. I need to forgive this person. I need to forgive this action. And I need to focus on what it's going to take to make myself better. To make myself the woman that God intended me to be all along. Ever since I was in my mother's womb. And I was like, how are we going to get there? And that's when I started looking for God. I started asking God to help me, to guide me through it. Because shadow work when I said that, I literally saw a shadow. Shadow work is not easy. It's really hard. So I had to think about everything that went on in my life, the bad times and the worst times. And through each thing, I worked through it with God right by my side, because I said, God, without you, I can't do it. I can't do it alone. And yeah, I cried a lot. And I even got kind of depressed, pretty depressed. And it took me through a journey of self-discovery that I cannot explain. And every time that I would feel overwhelmed, every time that I would feel like I couldn't do it anymore, I would get on my knees and I would pray. And I would ask God to guide me. I would ask God to take my hand and guide me through the wilderness of my head, of my thoughts, to guide me through this very, very hard thing. Because when you work on your shadows, it's hard, because there's things too that you did, It's not only about what other people did to me or what I went through or this and that, but you also have to deal with the stuff that you did to other people. Because we're not all innocent, including myself. I have a past, and I have things that I did in my past that I'm not proud of. And I have people that I've hurt, and I've had my share of things that I did. So I had to face that too. And I have to take accountability for it, and I have to accept it, and I have to forgive myself for doing those things, for allowing things to happen, whatever it may have been. I would have to forgive myself, because you have to forgive other people, but you also have to forgive yourself. Because if you don't forgive yourself, that anger, that resentment is going to always be there. It's going to be there. Even if you forgive the other person and you say, I don't even care about that person anymore, why do I still feel this anger? Why? Well, it's because you haven't forgiven yourself. But the moment that you forgive yourself, you forgive that person, you forgive yourself, and you can let it go, that's the moment that you turn your shadows into light. And that's the moment everything just got lighter, that a weight was taken off your shoulders. When that happens, it's really, really beautiful. It's kind of like seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, and you're like, there it is. There's my light. It was at the end of all that I started really knowing me, getting to know me, because all these years and in all my life, I had been living with all these things over me, a lot of emotional baggage, a lot. When I was able to work through all that, it made me a better person, I feel, and it made me know myself better. It made me know who I am better, because I started working on me. I started working on Maria, because my real name is Maria. It's not D, it's Maria. But when I was like 13, I told everybody to call me Diana. So I changed my name to Diana. And everybody that I would meet, I would tell them that my name was Diana. So that's why it's Keeping It Real with D. But my real name is Maria. So I got to know Maria more, you know? Who am I? Underneath all that pain, underneath all those scars, underneath all that baggage, once it started falling off, I got to know me. And I got to see my light. And let me tell you that it feels wonderful. Like I said, I'm not done working on myself. You know, I don't think that we're ever done, you know? We always have room for improvement. I always tell God to make me a better person today than I was yesterday, and make me a better person tomorrow than I am today. Because we always have to learn from our mistakes and to make ourselves better each and every day. You know, we have to strive for that. And there's many other ways on how people ignore their problems, ignore their baggage, ignore their emotional issues, which are very important to address. I mean, I got myself consumed with social media, like I said, but there's many other ways that people ignore their personal life, or their emotions, or suppress their feelings, or hide their baggage. There's many other ways. It could even be with work. It could be with relationships. You know, people that can't be alone, they have to be going from one relationship to another, to another, to another, just because they don't want to be alone. Because you know what happens when you're alone, right? You start thinking about all your life, and you start thinking about those things that you have in your baggage. And you have to have that conversation with yourself. And sometimes we're not ready for that conversation, but you got to have it, because it's very important. It's very important to talk to ourselves, to get to know ourselves, to heal ourselves from whatever it may be that happened, you know, that happened to you or that you did to someone else. It's very important to address those things and work through those shadows and turn them into light, because you can do it. It can be done. And I know, because that's what happened to me. You know, I was carrying along a lot of stuff, some stuff that was so traumatizing to me that I haven't even talked on this channel about. But I've learned to deal with it now. And you know what? I've learned to forgive. I forgave those people that hurt me. I forgave them. Now, does that mean that I want to be their friend or I want to be in the same room with them? No. But I forgave them. I have no hate for them in my heart. And it's very important to do that, because it cleanses you. It really does. So what I want you to take away from this video, don't avoid your issues. You know, don't avoid your problems. Don't let yourself get consumed by other things to avoid your issues. Don't be on social media so much that you ignore your own life. Don't be jumping from relationship to relationship to relationship just because you don't want to be alone, because you don't want to think about your issues. Don't start drinking or doing drugs to space out and not think about it. You know, there's a lot of things that people do that makes them ignore their issues. But at the end of the day, if you don't address them, they're always going to be there. And they're always going to be haunting you. And those shadows are going to remain shadows. And guess what? You're going to live with a big old shadow all over around you forever. And who wants that? Nobody wants that. So that's why it's very important to work through that. And yeah, you know what? It may make you cry. It may make you depressed. It may seem like, why the heck am I even doing this? But trust me, when you can work through it and when you can let it go, you have to let it go. Because if you don't let it go, it's not going to let you go. You have to let it go. It's okay. Whatever it may be that you went through, you have to let it go and understand that it wasn't your fault. And if you did something to somebody that was your fault, then forgive yourself for that. You need to accept it, take accountability, forgive yourself for doing that or for allowing something. If there's a chance to tell the person, I'm sorry, then that would be an option if that's an option. But sometimes I know it's not. You know, sometimes it's not an option to go up to somebody and be like, hey, I'm sorry, you know, that this and this and this, because maybe that person doesn't even want to talk to you. But that's okay. You just work through that on your own. You forgive yourself and you tell God, you know what? I'm sorry that I messed up like that. I'll never make that same mistake again. And you ask God for forgiveness. And you move on. And you just don't make the same mistake again. Because that's what it's all about, you know? It's about learning from our mistakes and not making the same mistake twice. Because if you keep going and making the same mistake over and over and over again, then that's not really, you know, you're not really sorry. You're just living in an ongoing cycle, doing the same thing over and over and over. And that's not healthy. But you can do it. And I recommend that if you believe in God, if you believe in a higher power, that you do it by God's hand. Tell God, I want you to go through this with me. I know it's not going to be easy, but I know that with you holding my hand, I can do anything. And He will fill you with His peace that surpasses all understanding. I hope this video helps somebody out there. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you. Making videos is something that I really like to do. I'm almost at 900 subscribers. I'm like, I can't believe it. It's really exciting. I really like to make videos, and you know, anything that I feel that it can help somebody in some way, I like to put it on camera and put it on YouTube, because there were a lot of times that I went looking for videos because I needed somebody to tell me, hey, I feel the same way you do. Or, hey, I'm going through the same thing. You can do it. Don't give up. And a lot of times I found videos like that of people, you know, they didn't even have a lot of views like me. I don't get a lot of views, you know, but I feel that views I get are the views I need to get. And I always tell God when I make a video, especially when it's an important video like this one, may you put it in front of the eyes that need to see it. And that's all that I want. But anyway, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you. Take care of yourselves. May God bless you. And I will see you guys on the next video. Bye. One day it just hit me. It hit me like a can of ham. No, wait. It hit me